Hi, so in this video, I'd like to share with you how I get 5-star Google reviews. Not just 5-star reviews, but really good 5-star reviews. So let's get into it. So the very first thing I think that's worth investigating is why do we want 5-star reviews? I think everyone would agree that good reviews are important, but let's just have a really quick look at why they're important. So the very first thing is social proof. That's a really big one in my opinion. So what that means is, so say one of your clients gives you a referral to another person, or say they find you on social media, or say you're running ads or you're doing something like that. What most people will do these days, especially with boudoir, especially where there's a high level of trust involved, I guess baby photography would be another one. But generally speaking, the first thing they'll do is Google you and just check you out. And so when you pop up in Google, if in your Google profile, when it comes up, if it shows all the information they need, like where your website is, where you are, all that type of thing. But the most important thing, in my opinion, is that Google review number. So if you, for example, have 30 or 50 5-star Google reviews, that is sort of credibility at a glance. Okay, so that's what you will pass the first test. But if you've got like hardly any reviews and 3-star average, then people are, the red flag's going to go up for a lot of people and they're going to investigate you. So that's the first reason. The second reason is it will hugely improve your SEO, your search engine optimization. And so, and I found that to be the case by getting a regular flow of Google reviews in. I've quickly leapfrogged my competition with my Google rankings. So where I might have been down the bottom or on the second page or whatever, honestly, it's been the biggest thing I've done is I've very quickly gone up the rankings and I now rank #1 for the two genres I do, which is boudoir and headshots. Now, admittedly, it's not as competitive a field as, like, for example, wedding photographers or possibly family photographers and things like that. But the point being is I got there really quite quickly. I quickly leapfrogged the competition. I now sit at #1 for all the genres and all the keywords that I want to rank for. So that's worth doing. The other reason too is you've got to think about this as well, is that at some point in the game we will all get a bad review. Now whether that's deserved or not is kind of irrelevant. Like you might get a bad review from a weird person, you might get a troll who's just leaving a bad review for whatever reason, who knows. But the point being is, if you've got 50 reviews, then one bad 1-star review or whatever won't look so bad at a glance, like your rating will be like 4.9 or something like that. Whereas if you only got like a handful of reviews, let's take the worst case scenario. Say you've only got 2 reviews, okay? Because you haven't bothered to do it at all. Someone leaves you a bad review, then all of a sudden your reviews are looking at like an average of 3 stars. So it's not a great ringing endorsement when people are checking you out at a glance. And I've actually seen it. I've seen photographers who've been around forever who have basically no reviews. And the reason being is I just don't ask for them, which I'll get to in a minute. And the final thing is it just gets you more bookings. Okay, so I literally get people booked based on my reviews. And the reason I know that is because they say it in the form they fill in from our website. They say, we love your work, blah, 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 and we've read all your reviews and we would like to book in. I think the main reason they have so much power is we've just been conditioned to pay attention to reviews, like star rating reviews. It started with, whether it be IMDb for choosing movies and TV shows. Back in the day, it was eBay. People used to judge whether a seller was reputable by their star rating review. Amazon, sort of everything, like we've been conditioned to that. So I think that's why it's so important for us to really make an effort and do it. So the next thing is, if you haven't got a lot of reviews, you need to get some reviews quickly. What do you do? So the next thing is, okay, you say, all right, I'm sold, I want to get some more reviews. And so if you say to yourself, well, I haven't got a lot of reviews, what do I do? What can I do to get them? So here's the way that I would do it, and the way that I have done it, is I would go back, make a list, go through all your previous clients, okay, go through all your shoots you've done, and make a list of all the people who you want to ask for reviews. And by that I mean asking the people who you've obviously got on well with, who you feel would leave you a review, feel you'd leave you a good review. Okay, it's important to leave out the people who might not for whatever reason, and then just set about the task of asking them. Now, how you ask, in my opinion, is important. And the first part of that is I would be communicating with them in a way, beg your pardon, I would be communicating with them in the way that you communicated with them in the past, okay? But I do have a preference. So the first preference would be phone calls, okay? So if you've spoken to them on the phone in the past, then call them up, okay? The chances are they've still got your number in their phone. If not, if you're not sure, send them a text first and just tell them you want to give them a call so they know who you are when you're calling, because no one answers calls that they don't recognise the phone number from. And just speak the truth. Just say, look, I'm ringing because I felt we had a good connection. I felt we did really well together. Whatever the scenario is for you, and just tell them the truth. Just say that you're trying to improve your business, and one of the things that you're trying to do is increase your Google ratings. And if they wouldn't mind helping out, you'd be much appreciated. And if you do that, most people are happy to help. Like honestly, most people are happy to help. But failing a phone call, I would resort to texting, or even better yet, I think would be messaging through Facebook Messenger if you happen to be friends on Facebook. I would leave email at the bottom of the list as an option. And the only reason being is people get so many emails every day that you'd have to send a pretty good emails to get their attention. To even for them to read it and then leave a review. So after you've done all that, you need to then send them a link to your Google review. Now I'll show you that soon, but what you need to do then is send them that link, and that will automate the process to a point where they can leave you a review. Now you are going to run into the problem where some people don't have a Google account, because you need a Google account to leave a Google review, and that's kind of a bit of a problem in my opinion, just in general. But you'll be surprised how many people have a Google account for various reasons. You don't just have to have a Gmail account to have a Google account. Like you could have a Google account because you've joined YouTube, Google Maps. There's a number of things. So it's surprising, but some people just won't have it, and some people aren't. This is going to sound crazy, but they're just not tech savvy enough to figure out how to create a Google account. Or they just go, this is too hard, I can't be bothered, I'll get to it later. Now, what I've found is that when people say they're going to leave you a review and then don't, that's usually the reason why, because it's gotten difficult. And once it gets difficult, the people get sidetracked and don't do it. So in that case, I don't really follow them up too hard on it, unless you know them really well, obviously. You can do a bit more too, but you don't want to pester people, okay? But that's the way that I would get a bunch of reviews out of the gate. Okay. Now the next thing is, what we've now done is we've automated the process to get Google reviews for the clients coming in. Now, so here's the way that we do it and the way that we've refined it down. Okay. So the scenario is this: they come into our studio, in our case for a boudoir shoot or a headshot session or something like that. But I'm going to use boudoir because this is kind of what this channel is leaning into a bit more than anything else. And so they've spent the day with us, we get to the end, they've purchased the stuff that they want to purchase, and they're walking out the door. Okay. What I do is, as we're saying goodbye, I say, by the way, tomorrow morning you will get an automatic email requesting a Google review. Would you mind leaving us a review? And providing they've had a good experience, they're going to say, yeah, that's fine. And what we find with that is that by first of all priming them and getting them ready for that email, it gives them a chance to sort of reflect on a little bit about what they might say. Because people who have had a really good experience and want to leave you a review, it's going to sound, but they will want to do a good job of leaving you that review. Just to backtrack a little bit, what a lot of studios are doing now is they've got, for example, a QR code printed to send you a link, a QR code of the link to send them to your Google review page. And I think that what I've found is by rushing them through the process, you get much more generic reviews. And I find that by giving them a chance to think about it a little bit and reflect on what they want to say, that's when you get the really good reviews. That's what I've found. So the way that we've automated is we have that workflow attached to the shoot. Okay, so in our CRM, in our software that we use for the studio, the way it works is it automatically sends out that email the next day, right, at 11 o'clock in the morning, okay? and I'll show you that in a minute as well. But in addition to that, another way that we get really nice reviews is we have in our workflows to send them a couple of sneak peeks of their boudoir session the very next morning. Now, we do that for a number of reasons. The most important reason is they're really excited and they want to see them, and they're really thrilled and they're super stoked to get them. Now, that's a really nice reason. The second reason is it firms up your sale, because sometimes people have a bit of buyer's regret on how much they've spent and that type of thing. But by sending them the sneak peeks, it will take them, and you obviously send the ones that they super like, and you're going to know what they are because they've picked them out. Excuse me. By doing that, you're keeping them emotional, and it affirms that they've made a good decision. And the third thing is a Google review. It puts them in a good frame of mind again. So it's reinforcing the afternoon before. It's reinforcing the request we've made to do it. And then obviously when they get the email, they're more inclined to act on it. So without further ado, I want to cover two things. I'm going to go to a screen grab in a minute. I'm going to show you where to get the link from your Google profile. You can either text that to people, message it to people, email to people, whatever the scenario is, it works best. And then I'll also show you a real world email. Here it is here, and I'll do that screen recording now. So the first thing is I'll show you how to get the link for the to be able to send to your clients. It's super simple. All you got to do is log into your Google account. You need to be logged in to the account which is associated with your business. Okay, click on here and go to Business Profile Manager, which will take you to this screen here. Then you got this button here that says Ask for Reviews. So click on that, and that will create a link which you can copy from here. And that way then you can send it by text, messenger, whatever, doesn't really matter. But that's how you get how you get the link to send to either past clients or clients going forward to ask them for the review. Super simple. And then what we do here is, so this is just to give you something to think about. This is the email that we send out. So we say, first of all, thank you for coming in for your boudoir experience. It was awesome. The favor I'm asking to request is a Google review. Two reasons. One, it helps us if people are looking at using our studio to determine that we are not douchebags. And I'm not sure I'd put that to a vote with my friends. Bit of humour, hopefully. And the second thing is, I say I've been nominated for Best Photographer Award, and part of the judging is customer satisfaction from Google reviews, which is true. I get nominated every year. I get my friend to nominate me. And then here's the link here, okay, which is, yep, that's a direct copy of that. And then I go on to say, this is an important bit here. I go on to say, please only do this if you feel that we are worthy. If you're not happy, we absolutely want to hear from you to learn if we can do anything better. As always, thanking you. Kind regards, Tracy and Richard, blah, blah, blah. This sentence here will just stop you from getting bad reviews. It gives people the opportunity to give you feedback. And if they've got any problems or anything they want to ask about, then they can reply to that. So rather than just leaving you a bad review, they can resolve it. And as a result of that, we haven't had any bad reviews as a result of sending this out. So that's pretty much it. It's pretty straightforward. And we'll get back to it. All right, so there you go. That's the whole process on how we get Google reviews. We find it to be highly effective. You're not going to get a Google review for everyone. A really good strike rate is 30 to 50% in my opinion. We sort of sit in that area there, and that's how we do it. So if you got value out of this, I'd love you for you to subscribe to the channel. I'm planning on doing one of these once a week. This is the third one I've ever done. I want to thank you for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Have a wonderful day. You're awesome. And again, thank you for watching.